There's a part of trauma that no one prepares you for. Not the moment it happens, not the pain, not even the recovery. It's what happens afterwards. When the event's over, but your mind keeps replaying it. You go back over every detail, every decision, every second. You ask yourself the same question in 100 different ways. What if I had done something different? For years after my injury, the person I blamed most wasn't the ocean, wasn't the accident, wasn't bad luck. It was me. The accident happened in seconds, but the guilt lasted for a very, very long time. And I would replay that day each and every day over and over again, just thinking about what if, right? What if I did not wake up that morning and go surfing? What if I maybe waited a little bit longer to go out, right? You think about that butterfly effect. What was it that I did that day that led to that accident? What if I just didn't decide to dive in head first into the ocean? What would have happened? You know, would I have been injured some other way in a car accident? Was it my destiny? So it was just a huge burden that I started carrying because I knew that I couldn't blame God. You know, I had that conversation with my dad previously. I couldn't blame other people. You know, it was my own decision of jumping headfirst into the water. And that was the result of just what I did. So, you know, every day I would live with this burden of not knowing what would have happened. And it became something very difficult just to carry emotionally. I would blame myself. I was harder on myself. I expected a lot more. I had unrealistic expectations. I started living really fast. I started living life maybe even faster than what I needed to, or how I needed to live. The hardest part during that period of time wasn't even the physical aspects of it. It was more the mental. And I think that self-blame becomes almost like an anchor. It doesn't matter if you lost a job, if you lost a loved one, a breakup, if you lost something important in your life, you're gonna at some point start blaming yourself, and then that creates some anger towards your own person. There comes a point where I think that one has to make a choice, right? That you have to get out of that comfort zone and get out of that that feeling that you might have of that burden, and start moving on to a different stage in your life. And it takes time. It's difficult. What started changing for me wasn't some big breakthrough or life-changing moment. Honestly, it was just giving myself some grace and going back to the ocean. At first, I didn't really know what it was looking for. Maybe it was peace, maybe clarity, maybe I was just trying to reconnect with a part of myself that I thought had disappeared. But every time I found myself back in the ocean, it reminded me of something simple. Life was still moving forward. For a long time, the ocean represented a worst day of my life. It represented trauma, loss, and everything that I had changed in my life. But that changed the moment I forgave myself and gave myself some grace. Little by little, I stopped trying to work so hard and become the person that I was before my injury. Instead, I started learning how to embrace the person that I had become. That shift changed everything, because healing didn't come from getting my old life back. It came from realizing that this life, the one that I have now, still has meaning. It still has beauty. It still has purpose. And once I accepted it, I finally started moving forward. So whether you have a spinal cord injury or lost a loved one, lost your job, just broke up with the love of your life, whatever it is, that hardship that you're going through, that pain that you're going through right now, you're likely going to blame yourself, and start identifying that self-blame, because the sooner that you identify it and the sooner that you start giving yourself some grace and forgiving yourself for what happened, the sooner you're going to be able to move on, the sooner you're going to be able to remove those shackles, that ball and chain, that huge anchor that's holding you back. The sooner that you do that,
the sooner that you're going to be moving forward and living life more thoroughly, living life to the fullest, and really just start to give yourself more opportunities to live life, to love again, to look for another job, to do whatever it is that you want to do, to surf again. It doesn't matter what happened to you. It matters how you react to it, how you adapt to it, and what you learn from that event and that hardship and that trauma. That's all that matters. Give yourself grace. Stop blaming yourself. Look forward to new experiences, to new life, to new love, whatever it is, and start living again the way that you're supposed to live again. I'm Beto. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're here from a previous video, thanks for sticking by. I make videos about not only spinal cord injuries or living with disability, but also about just the things that happen in life and how to react to them and how to start living again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one.